Hi, my name is Brad Booth and I'm chair of the board of the Ethernet Alliance. I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about 100 gigabit Ethernet technology and services. The Ethernet Alliance is an industry consortium designed to remove the barriers to technology adoption. We do this by providing a voice for Ethernet into the industry and try to develop a growing Ethernet ecosystem. We work in part with the IEEE standards process and very closely with interoperability test labs. Ethernet Alliance works with its members to help drive industry standards. We work very closely with a lot of our industry members to develop a call for interest for a higher speed study group. This was what led to the formation of the high speed study group inside the IEEE 802.3 for the development of 40 gig and 100 gig Ethernet. The Ethernet ecosystem includes everything from broadband access to the internet backbone to all the way into the enterprise networks. It was noticed that the growth in bandwidth projections within the market for Ethernet was showing that there was a huge demand for increased capabilities within the next 3 to 5 years. The high-speed study group realized that for the market to be able to continue to support the growth of the internet, that bandwidth provisions needed to be increased, and the need for 40 gig and 100 gig became very apparent. Ethernet Alliance members worked together to develop consensus on objectives for the study group. Those objectives help set the goals for the standards development. The objectives that were adopted by the task force were aimed at supporting Ethernet as it currently operates in full duplex operation. There were no changes made to the Ethernet frame format, as this is Ethernet's core value. Support was added to provide the ability to connect to optical transport networks. It was also decided to support 2 physical layers, one that operates at 100 gig, another that operates at 40 gig. They were provided both with the ability to operate over a wide range of reaches. For 100 gig, operating from 10 meters over a copper cable assembly all the way up to 40 kilometers over single mode fiber. 40 gig would operate from 1 meters over a copper backplane all the way up to 10 kilometers on single mode fiber. Ethernet Alliance members, with the objectives in hand, assisted with the developments of baseline proposals to help generate the first draft for task force review. The task force adopted a timeline to achieve a standard ratification in June 2010. It has 3 major portions of development work that has to occur. Currently, the project is in task force review. The next phase is where it will go out for what is called working group ballot. This is where IEEE 802.3 working group will review the draft standard to make sure it is technically complete. Eventually, the standard will go into sponsor ballot. In sponsor ballot, this is a chance for the industry as a whole to take a look at the specification and make sure it is correct. Eventually, it will reach the end of its timeline and will be released for publication and will be an official standard. The target date again, June 2010. The current status of the project is that they have selected wave division multiplexing for reaches that are greater or equal to 10 kilometers. In the case of 40 gig, they're using 4 wavelengths operating at 10 gigabits per second each. In the case of 100 gigabit Ethernet, they're using 10 wavelengths operating at 10 gigabits per second each. In the case of short reaches, parallel fiber will be used. 40 gig is making use of SNAP 4 and QSFP connectors. 10 gigabit Ethernet may be making use of SNAP 12 connectors. Right now, draft 1.1 is out for task force review. The draft has a technical framework or skeleton from which it tries to build upon. The goal of task force review is to get this draft to be technically complete. As the draft moves through its review process and development, Ethernet Alliance members work together to perform interoperability testing and conduct demonstrations as equipment becomes available. The Ethernet Alliance and its members perform numerous interoperability events. We have closed-door interoperability testing. This provides members with the ability to actually get information on the working portions of the standard. It allows us to go in and test and confirm that we are able to make equipment interoperate. 40 gig interoperability testing is expected to occur within the second half of 2009. A lot of these components are being built off existing quad or 4x 10 gigabit Ethernet parts. 100 gigabit interoperability testing requires new components and optics. This has a longer lead time for development. Early concept testing is expected to occur in the second half of 2009. Full interoperability testing is likely to occur in early 2010, prior to the ratification of the standard. With standard ratification targeted for mid-2010, Ethernet Alliance members are already looking beyond the IEEE 802.3ba project. They're looking at what might occur with 40 gig serial implementations for optical transceivers. Discussions are around 40G base T and how they can transmit 40 gig over unshielded twisted pair. There's discussions occurring for 100 gig using 4 wavelengths, each operating at 25 gigabits per second. That could be for optics, for copper cabling, or even for backplanes. As the technology matures, new implementations and new ways of performing 40 gig and 100 gig will result in new standards. So in summary, the task force is on track for ratification of the standard in 2010 to help meet the demand for 100 gigabit Ethernet in the aggregation points of the network, to meet the demand of 40 gig in servers and server aggregation. The Ethernet Alliance will continue to play a key role. Not only were we there to help incubate and develop this project, but we will be there for the next phase, which is interoperability testing. We've already started to look beyond IEEE P802.3ba with discussions on what is the next generation. And the members continue to be involved in driving the next generation of Ethernet technology.